Hi, it's Nicole from 3yc again, and in this video I'm going to show you how to edit the text boxes you created in your 3yc printables using Adobe Reader. In the first video I showed you how to make a very simple text box and add text to it. Now we're going to go back and actually work on the details of it. To edit the text box itself, click inside the box one time. It doesn't matter if you click over the blank areas, the text, or the border. Just click one time in order to bring up the text box property bar. From there, you can change the fill color of a box, the border color of a box, the type of border you have, the weight of the border, and even whether or not the box is opaque or transparent. Now, just because you have all of these options doesn't mean you necessarily have to use them all. As you can see, it took me all of 15 seconds to take this to oh my goddy. So we're going to go back, tone this down a whole lot so that it looks a little more in line with the look of this recipe card. I'm going to go up to the fill color and I'm going to choose no color. But before I do that, I want to show you how you can go in, and if you decide that you want to fill color, you can pick any color under the spectrum that you want simply by going into more colors and moving this cursor around and adjusting the shade and tint. Okay, and cancel out of that. Go back up, click on no color. And now I can see the pattern from my recipe card showing behind the text, which is really what I wanted. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the border from this text box. I just don't feel like this really warrants a text box. So you'll see that the text went all weird and it stretched out and got bigger when I did that. I don't know why it does it. I just know that if I double click on the text, it returns to normal. You'll see when I double click on the text, it also changes the title bar to the text editing bar, which is what we're going to talk about in the next video. But for now, I'm going to click outside of that, and you can see that the text box itself appears to be gone. It's not actually gone. If it was, we wouldn't see the text here. If I decide later that I want to have a box around this text, all I have to do is click on the text one time again, and clicking that one time brings back my text box. My text box menu, rather. Sorry. Now, the other things I can do besides changing the colors and the borders is I can also change the placement of this box by clicking in the center of it and dragging it around. When you see that big plus sign cursor, all you have to do is click on the box and then you're free to move it around. So I can align this if I want to align this a little more. If I want to change the size of the box, I can either do that by clicking on the sidebar or side boxes or the top and bottom boxes, and I can readjust the size or readjust the placement of that side. If I click on the arrows on the corners, or I'm sorry, if I click on the boxes in the corners rather, I can adjust the height and the width of it simultaneously. I'm going to pull that back out. Okay. Now, I will strongly recommend that when you create these text boxes that you keep the size of the box close to the size of your text. When you start adding more text boxes to a particular project, if the boxes are overlapping, it's going to create problems when you go to select a box and want to edit its properties or edit the text within that box. So when you're working with them, just try to keep it close to the size of the text. And remember, you can always go and click back on the text at any time to change the size and shape of the box. Okay? I'm going to click out of that, and I'm going to leave this for now, and we'll come back in the next video. We'll talk about editing the text itself. Bye!